you guys doing? How are we doing, Star Fam? Hey, Miss Kaiser Shote, how are you? Thank you all for joining me. Are a lot of you guys off today? Because I know a lot of people are off today. Are a lot of you guys off today? I feel like this is, since it's the 4th of July weekend, and I don't think you can, wait, is the 4th on, when is the 4th? Yeah, I think probably either people are off today or people got off early and are going to be off on Monday. But anyway, how are we doing? Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for also adjusting the time with me. Yes, I scheduled this live today for 12 p.m., but it was storming like crazy. And as you guys know, I filmed by my window. And yeah, I was like, ain't no way I want to sit next to this window with all of its electrical equipment and it's like thundering and lightning outside. I had no idea that Atlanta was like that. Their weather was like Miami's. Like Atlanta's weather is like Miami because at least for this week alone, there have been like storms like from like 8 a.m. to like 11 a.m. and then it's like bright and sunny. And then it's storming again at 2 p.m. Very weird. Very weird. But I was just like, I moved it to this time because I thought that at least it would be done because my weather app says that it's going to start storming again in about 2 hours. So I'm like, let me just see what I can do now before this storm starts. But it's crazy. And I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't lived on the East Coast in a long time. But, y'all don't like me calling it the East Coast, but you're on Eastern Standard Time. Maybe it's because I haven't lived in this kind of weather for a while and I'm just not used to it storming like this, but it just seems excessive. This just seems excessive. Episode 4 was good. We're going to talk about it a bit, but after what we talk about there, that was pretty much what happened in episode 4. Grace said, I got my dragon shoes on, Nikki. Let's go. Yeah, today has been a lot. Yesterday and today, oh my God. Just crazy housewives mess. What is happening? Angie, you're losing control of your girls. Hey, Vaca, how are you? What's up, Tia Bia? Tia Bia said, hey, Nikki and the Star fam. I'm getting my oil change and sitting here watching you. Hey, hold on. I feel like it's blown out back here. Will that change anything? Oh, should I do it like that? Is that better? I probably need to do it like this. Let me come. Oh, no, it's me. It's me. Sorry, it's a little blown out for y'all. This is the best lighting in the home right now until I get all my studio equipment. So this is what we got to deal with. Hey, Cameron, how are you? Oh my gosh, Paige. Paige said, hey girl, stuck in the Houston airport for 8 more hours. I'm so sorry. We were so concerned because, there's a lot of holiday travel happening. My sisters are flying in from out of town. And I was just like, I don't know if they're going to make it. Because the weather was crazy. And I'm like, I don't know if they could fly over this. Yeah, I'm so sorry. There has been like a lot of flights being held up. Pilots are protesting. Weather is just insane right now. And it's holiday travel. So one of the worst times to, travel for the holidays, especially in the season that we're in. So I'm sorry, Paige. Hopefully we can, get you through your time at the airport. What's up, Simply Simone? Simply Simone said, welcome to Georgia weather, Nikki. I know. Like insane. Just lightning. I've never seen lightning in the middle of the day. It's always been in like the evening. It just got dark out of nowhere and then thunder and lightning. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my goodness. Simply Simone said, it's big when housewife makes the shade room. Yeah, Lisa crossed the line. She absolutely crossed the line. What's up, Black Lavender? Black Lavender said, ready for the mess. Ready for the mess. DeWay said, ready for the RINNA drag. Oh my gosh. Jennifer said, hey, Nikki, I'm taking my lunch break and finally catching a live. It's been so long. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining us. What's up, Connie? Good morning. Oh, okay. Paige said, I'm a flight attendant. What's up, sis? And it's hard flying right now, and I'm non-revving. Is that a pilot talk? Is that flight attendant talk? Non-revving, trying to get home from my vacation in Cancun. Yes, Mexico is a spot. I'm telling you. Like, I'm trying to find another location to go to for my birthday, but I don't know. I feel like I might end up in Mexico again. I enjoy it. I enjoy Mexico. I've never been to Cancun though. Cabo got a sweet spot in my heart. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this is how it's going to go today, guys. I'm going to first just get into the Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls trip because I want to start off on a positive note because I feel like, we're going to get into the Rinna and Diana mess, and it's just, I want to start off. Let's have fun. Let's just talk about these episodes and then get into the drogation. Hey, Ashnique, what's up? Samantha said 3 days in a row catching the live. Yes, Samantha, thank you for being here. Hey, Missy. Missy said, hey, Nikki, hey, Star fam. Hope you all are well. You see my beautiful yard? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's absolutely terrifying, but it's so pretty. Oh, thank you, Paige. Paige said, sorry, non-revving means I'm flying standby and not paying. Oh, yes. Flights are booked or canceled. Yeah. Yeah, that's something else. That's something else. I actually did that, but I didn't really know what standby was at the time. And my cousin got me a standby ticket to come home for Thanksgiving years ago. The dumbest decision I ever made. The dumbest decision I ever made. I literally spent the night in the airport. It turned out to not be such a bad thing because it was like a group of us, a group of like standby people that kept on getting pushed over to different flights. So we just like started, hanging out, we were getting each other foods, taking naps by whatever that is, the flight attendant station or what is it? The airline station, whatever that thing is called. And so we would just take certain naps, and then certain people would be on watch. So it'd be like, oh, they're ready, let's go. But if it wasn't time to go, somebody would take a nap, and then somebody would be on watch in case they would call us. So it ended up, listen, I was able to make lemons out of lemonade. Lemonade out of lemons. Yes, I was able to make lemonades out of lemons, but I would never do that again. That was something else. That was something else. Hey, Ordered Step. So glad you're here. Said, hey, I made it to a live. Hey, Nikki.Star. I will be here for just a few minutes. I have another appointment in about an hour. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Glad you're here. All right, since we got a lot to talk about, let's get into the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Now, I'm going to briefly show this picture because I don't have any pictures. I absolutely was so invested in, the Rinna mess that I didn't get any pictures of the cast. So I'm very sorry about that. I'll have it next week, but I was, trying to get everything out in time. I absolutely forgot about it. But this is the cast. Oh, I can't show it that way. Let me try to show it this way. While this is loading, the cast for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 is Jill Zarin, Tamra. Is it Barney now? Tamra, Vicky from Real Housewives of Orange County. Jill Zarin is the only one from New York, which is so disappointing. Dorinda too. Dorinda is the host. She's hosting everybody at Bluestone Manor. Then from Beverly Hills, we have Taylor. Taylor, who went viral not too long ago for that cat meme. And then we have Brandy from Beverly Hills. And for Atlanta, we have Eva and we have Phaedra, who is really, doing a good job. I know, the views are mixed concerning Phaedra, but I think she's doing a good job. Anyway, this is the cast. I really love it. I think they nailed their promo shoot. They nailed this promo pic. They all look so great. I love the colors. I think this cast is a good dynamic. I think this cast is a really good dynamic because you're never bored. I will say for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 1, I got a bit bored. I got a bit bored. So I checked out kind of early because it was just, it took them a while to find their groove. And I think it was probably because Ramona was just sucking the energy out of the group. You know, she really was, I won't say, I'll say it. She really felt poisonous in that situation with the ladies. And I just felt like they could never really find their footing because it was a miscast. This was a much better cast. I feel like everybody has their moments. Everybody has their time to shine. Everybody has their meltdowns, except for Phaedra. Phaedra has become like the house mother that Dorinda should have been. But it's a nice balance. Phaedra's not in drama, but she has great confessionals, right? So she is sort of become the narrator for this season. I'm enjoying the cast. I really, really am. I'm enjoying the drama, although some is a bit too much. Oh, Dorinda, I wanted her back, but I don't know if I want her back on New York. She's just Dorinda, you look awful on the show. You look so awful. But before we get into that, I do want to say, whatever cameras you are using, whatever lighting you are using for these ladies, you need to completely fix it. You need to fix it because the Real Housewives, they have a certain filter that they use for these ladies. They have certain lighting and they have certain cameras. I don't know if the budget was cut or whatever, but they need to fix the situation because I have to be honest with you, and I'm not dragging these ladies' looks in any kind of way. I'm not saying that they are tender-eyed. I'm not, dragging aging women and saying that they look bad because they age. I am going to say they look completely awful on this show. And I think it has everything to do with the cameras and the lighting that they are using because they are not using the same cameras and lighting that they use for the main seasons. And I think maybe it's a budget cut or whatever because, Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip is not given the same budget because it's on a streaming service on Peacock that's fairly new. So they're not going to Netflix this show and give it this gigantic budget. So they're cutting corners in certain places. And I feel like camera and filters and lighting is not where you should cut corners because it just doesn't do any favors to the ladies who is your cast, right? You want your cast to look good. You want your cast to feel good about being on camera. And they just have done a terrible job. The cameras, whatever they're doing over there, it's just not working. I have never seen Tamara look so terrible. And I'm not saying that's how she really looks, right? I'm saying there's something going on with those cameras and the lighting. They're not using the same, whatever they're doing, they're not using the same mixture that they were using on the main housewife shows because this is just, every time I see anybody on camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a shame because the only people who are really showing up are the sisters. The sisters look great. So I'm like, are these the people from Atlanta who are lighting Eva and Phaedra, and they don't know how to light the rest of the ladies because the colored girls look good. The people with the melanin look good. Everybody looks terrible. Like Brandy has a huge dent in her, like right here. A huge dent right here. She's probably always had that dent. We've never been able to see it. But on this show, we see every dent, every crevice. We see every, we see where the surgeon cut and all. I'm just like, if I'm watching this after post and you guys have sent this out and you've edited it and you've approved everything, if I can see this, you saw it raw. And I know the footage was worse raw. Why would y'all do your girls like that? I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I felt like they could have done the ladies a lot better. Maybe they didn't allow them to have glam or something. I don't know what it was, but I just think that they could have given these ladies better camera quality and better lighting. It's a shame. It's a shame. And as somebody who works in the entertainment industry, works on camera, as a woman especially, you want your lighting and you want the camera quality to be pristine because that's something that you are self-conscious about, especially as an aging woman. And I didn't like that. I felt like they could have done these ladies a lot better. And it just, I didn't like that. The fact that Eva is a fan of everybody and nobody knows who Eva is. Eva walked into that house this happy, celebrity phase millennial, and she was like, oh my God, it's Dorinda, oh my God, it's Vicky, oh my God. And everybody was just like, oh my God, who is this? The shade started off early on this show, And I love it. I will say, Eva and Phaedra are doing something that is bothering me, right? I don't know why, and I think it's maybe because Eva really is a fan of these ladies, right? Because she's been watching these shows the same time we've been watching these shows. Like she grew up on these shows just as we did, right? And I think she's so starstruck that she's saying stuff that I think she probably wouldn't really say, or I'm hoping that she's not really saying, because to sit there and look at Vicky and to say, oh my goodness, you don't look 60 at all. And I'm like, okay, I see you gassing her, right? But then she says, you know me, I'm telling the truth. I'm black and black don't crack. So if I'm telling you that you don't look 60, that's the truth, because we don't age. Vicky looks every bit of 60. Right? Especially with these cameras. She looks every bit of 60. Calm down. Like, why you gassing her? Why you gassing her, lying to her, and then throwing black people in there like we gonna co-sign with this mess? Stop it. Stop gassing her. Stop gassing her. But I let it slide because Eva is clearly a fan. And it's cute. It's not a bad thing. She's clearly a fan, and I love it. I'm not gonna hate on her for that. But I will say, her and Phaedra with this cookout mess is bothering me, because of all people, you invite your Brandy to the cookout, train wreck Brandy, and y'all see, as soon as you invited her to the cookout, she started violating. You better learn. You better learn. Speaking of Brandy, and this was in episode 1. Were you guys thrown when she made Taylor's husband's suicide about her? When she was talking to Taylor, she was like, that was a really hard time for me. And Taylor was like, how was it hard for you? She was like, yeah, when your husband committed suicide, that was tough on me. She's such a train wreck, but I need her. I need her back. I need her back on the Housewives. Taylor was like, excuse me? Because Taylor get real country when she get pissed. And when Brandy had pushed far too many buttons with her, when Taylor cussed her out, I was on the floor. Here is why. Because Taylor had enough of Brandy, right? Then Brandy in her confessional, she's just like, when I see Taylor screaming at me, all I can think about is that cat meme. And then this shady show did the side-by-side of Taylor and that cat meme. And but Taylor was trying her darndest. And Brandy had pushed too many buttons and just talking nonchalantly about her abusive ex, right? Who committed suicide and left her and her child destitute, to say, oh, when he did that, that was rough on me. That was it for Taylor. And she was right. When she got her together, she was right. But it was a quick little snap, wasn't it? She just snapped on it. She said, you shut your mouth. It's like, oh, Taylor, move the forks. Move the forks, because Taylor is losing it. But Brandy had pushed a lot of buttons. Let's talk about anti-vax Vicky. Listen, do whatever you want with your body in your life, right? But you need to be freaking responsible. And it was completely and extremely irresponsible for this show to put, especially because y'all know my situation, right? To put these ladies on a cast in a close environment with somebody who is not vaccinated, who just had freaking COVID. I was like, oh, hell no. I would have raised all kinds of hell. I don't care if that woman got tested. She's unvaccinated and she's in this home and she just had COVID. Not only did she just have COVID, it's still fresh. The heifer is coughing. She's, feeling woozy and everything. And I'm like, why would y'all still allow her to come on this show? Knowing that she's unvaccinated and knowing that she is recovering from COVID. Because, baby, whatever a COVID COVID strain is in her, that thing is a freaking powerhouse. It probably killed the whole damn manor. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, it's so irresponsible. And the ladies are finding out on camera. I would have been on the phone with my lawyer and my agent. Like, what the hell do y'all have me in? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Because that's the same thing that happened to me. Like, I didn't know this person was unvaccinated or that they had recently had COVID and they caught it again or probably brought it to the trip. And we did not know till it was time to leave. We were like, what? So yeah, I thought that was completely irresponsible for the show to do that. Oh, I normally don't get comments while I'm doing the live, but I have to. I have to. Because this is exactly what I was thinking about. She got Oklahoma on her. She got Oklahoma on her. I love Taylor. But yeah, I think that was just completely irresponsible. Let's talk about Dorinda. As somebody, right, who just thinks that a lot of anti-vax people are being completely irresponsible, Dorinda, I'm not saying you invited these women into your home, but when you agreed to host everybody for this show, you have to act a certain way, right? Because finding out that Vicky, not only is she unvaccinated and that she recently had COVID, as soon as Dorinda finds that out, she makes it about her, which is understandable, right? She's like, I just lost some friends to it. How could you do it? I'm not saying that how Dorinda felt in that moment was wrong, because truth be told, in real life, if that was my house, I would have been like, okay, thank you, you can go. Absolutely not. I don't care how many times you test. Nope, you're not playing with my immune system. Okay. So I understand that. But if you were hosting these people, right, if this is what you contractually agreed to, you got to be a better host. You have to be a better host. Dorinda has been a terrible host. She cusses these ladies out, drags them for filth. Then when they tell her that she has hurt their feelings, she just breaks down crying, immediately becomes victim. Then she becomes nasty again, kicks them out. And then all of a sudden, the next day, she's chill. Like what Vicky did to Tamara in episode 4, or what Dorinda did to Tamara in episode 4, completely uncalled for. Tamara and Jill, completely uncalled for. And this is when the bro was sober. When Dorinda cussed out Tamara, she was sober. She was sober. Listen, I understand not wanting people to, when they're at your home, to eat in the rooms, have it on the plaque. I absolutely get that. But your house gentleman gave those ladies cupcakes. Whatever they wanted, he was serving them. And he even said in his own confessional, he was just like, Marco, he was just like, I thought that we were pausing that for this show. I made that mistake. So if you found out when Tamara let you know that there was a miscommunication, you didn't need to embarrass her, go get the plaque, and then all of a sudden you start telling her, I don't know how you people were raised. You said that to the right ladies. Dorinda said it to the right ladies. There's no way she could have said that to Phaedra and Eva. There's no way. She picked the right broads to say that to. I don't know what animal houses you guys were raised in, but here at Bluestone Manor, we don't do that here. Like, you were so nasty. And then Tamara was so upset. She starts crying. So Vicky goes and gets Dorinda. She's like, Dorinda, she's crying. And then Dorinda comes and she's just like, well, why are you crying? Why are you crying? You're messing up my home. You're treating my home like it's a pigsty. And then listen, I normally don't like people lashing out like that, especially on these housewife shows, because this is your job. You should know how to act accordingly, right? Your emotions should not get the best of you when you signed up to be on the show where you just fight people all day, right? However, I was here for Tamara screaming at Dorinda and telling her, don't talk to me like that, because Dorinda was wrong. You are a host. You're a terrible host. Dorinda is a terrible host. You're yelling at this woman about eating in the room when that food was provided to her by your employee. So you're mad at the wrong person. I will say this, Dorinda. I always have felt like Ramona was the one who just treated everybody, especially the staff, horribly. I will say, watching episode 4, I was just like, you know what? If this is how she treats her guests in her home, how does she treat her staff? That was the first time that I just thought that, you know what? If you're a monster to people who you respect and value, I can only imagine how you treat that housekeeper, how you treat Marco when the cameras are not there. Because Dorinda is that kind of person who will go off on an elite, right? But she won't do it to somebody middle or working class, right? Because she's super liberal, right? And she has this image where she is this, she puts her cape on and she saves everybody, and she's a good one. That is her image. She puts out that she's this good little liberal. But I feel like if this is how you openly treat people who you think are on the same level or who you value, I'm very concerned with your staff. And this was the first time that I thought that, which is probably why you probably should not have hosted this show at Bluestone Manor, because it's just, I am somebody who wanted you back on the Real Housewives of New York, but you just seem very nasty. Can we be real? She's treating everybody like they're Tinsley. She's treating everybody like they're Tinsley. To sit there and start crying and trying to manipulate Tamara and saying, oh, what you're doing to me is wrong. Girl, you offended her. You were wrong. And then at the tea party, Dorinda's acting like everything is okay. She does that constantly. She mistreats people. And then when she's done with it, she wants everybody else to be done with it. I'm glad that they made up so the show could move on, but Dorinda was just wrong. She has been an absolute terrible host. Sober or drunk, she's just nasty to these women. And it's like, why would you bring people into your home if this is how you're going to treat them, right? And especially with Jill. All Jill wanted to do, let's be real, Jill wanted to be on Eva's show, right? When Eva said no, Jill was like, well, can I listen? Can I listen in? Eva was just like, no, you know what I mean? Because I think Eva already knew that if Jill was in the room, if she asked to be on the show, right? And if she was in the room listening, she was going to make her way onto the show. So Eva already knew what was up, but Eva shut it down. We did not need Dorinda jumping on Jill and, just telling her how awful she is for wanting to be seen. You all want to be seen. You're on a reality TV show. Like, Eva had handled it. We didn't need Dorinda to come in and mistreat Jill further, right? So Jill is now upset. She talks to Phaedra because Phaedra is the house mother. Every time anybody has a problem with the other housewife, who do they run to? Phaedra. And Phaedra's just like, oh, sugar, what happened? That's what she does to everybody, right? So everybody runs to Phaedra to fix it, right? So while Jill is talking to Phaedra, Dorinda runs in and she just starts taking Jill down another notch. So Jill runs, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So she goes up to the confessional, right? And she's crying. Then Mother Phaedra goes up and she starts consoling her. Then Eva comes in, very aggressive with your comfort, Eva. Let's be real. Eva comes in, why are you crying? I'm like, are you mad at her? Like, what's going on? Why are you crying? What are these tears? I'm like, Eva, I know you're a mother of boys, but these are women. Let's try a little bit of grace and comfort. So they're now comforting Jill. And then Dorinda walks in. What a drink. What a drink. Now, what you did to me, you hurt my feelings. Like, out of her freaking mind. And what does she do? Tear Jill down some more. I'm like, girl, take a break. Get off her neck. You need to pull back. I don't want her on New York anymore. I don't want her back. I don't want her on Legacy, because I just don't know what's happening with Dorinda. Because before I used to blame it on the drinking, but Dorinda was sober when she tore Tamara down like that. So I don't know what's going on. She needs to be, maybe who did. Well, I was going to say who was Portia's anger management coach, but baby, it didn't work. She needs to go to somebody and get some type of help before she comes back on this show. Because if this is how she's going to treat everybody, I'm good on her. I am good on Dorinda, the terrible host. I'm with Vicky and I'm with Jill. Like the other ladies with the Turks and Caicos. Why are we in a Persian? Vicky was like, why am I here? She was like, I wanted to be on a yacht in a tropical location. We're in the Berkshires in this mansion with these rats. Because that's why Dorinda was really upset. She didn't want them cameras to catch no rats or roaches on, she didn't want them to catch them and put them on the show because she knows how messy this show is. So that's what she was going off about, people eating in her room. And she in the rooms, and she even said it. She was just like, I don't want, the rats and everything getting, the mice or whatever, getting to the food. And I was just like, well, mama, then you shouldn't be hosting people. If you got a little rat problem, tell me from jump. Let me know it's roaches in the kitchen. I'm not coming, but just give me a heads up. Don't get me there and then cuss me out because you got a little rat problem. Wrong, Dorinda. Absolutely wrong. What else did I want to talk about? Because I didn't want to go through each episode because some episodes just had like one thing happen, and we don't need to break down every one. Brandy needs to stop drinking. Brandy, unlike Dorinda, is great sober. Yes, great sober. She's nice, she's fun, she's sweet. When she starts drinking, she gets really nasty, which is why that cookout broke up real quick. And that's on Phaedra and Eva, because they should have never did that mess. Y'all too old. Y'all big ages. Y'all inviting people to the cookout. The cookout is dead, done, buried, set ablaze, and shipped out to sea. Stop that mess. So after they invite Brandy to the cookout, they're all besties now. And that now, anytime Brandy messes up, they're defending her. And I'm like, ladies, you are going to get in a real tricky position defending Brandy. Here is why. Brandy, when drunk, is a habitual line crosser. She don't care who it is. She will cross that line with you. Sober, she's a lot better. She's a lot coherent. But when she's drunk, she's going to cross every line and not care. You can yell like Taylor. You can cry like Tamara. You can walk away like Vicky. She's going to follow you and continue to cross lines with you because that is just who she is when she's intoxicated or under any other kind of influence. So you guys are taking her in because the girls are always ganging up on her. The women are lashing out at her because she's saying and doing awful things to them. Now, Eva got a little taste of what Brandy does to everybody when she got a little cocktails in her, because that little mangina thing pissed Eva off because she knew exactly what Brandy meant. And she had a problem with her not only saying it, but saying it on camera, because Eva was about to get her together. And Brandy knew that. And she realized she was going to lose her allies. So she apologized profusely when that happened. And she also apologized the next day. But I'm like, y'all are going to get in a real tricky position coming to her defense all the time, because when she turns around and snap at y'all, nobody's going to come to your defense because you were cussing everybody out in defense of Brandy. Eva, you are always on the wrong side of history. You are just always defending battles that are, undefendable. Like, I just do not know why you did that on your season, and you're doing that here. 4 episodes in, and I'm like, Eva, be quiet, mind your business. You weren't there. Why in the hell are you defending Dorinda when Tamara is talking about how she mistreated her? Tamara was like, Eva, you weren't even there. So how do you have this issue with me talking about how Dorinda disrespected me and did not apologize? Tamara had every right to still be where she was at, because Dorinda acted like what happened didn't happen. And when Tamara brought it up, Dorinda's like, it was so long ago. It was that morning. And then you had the nerve to go to your little, to teach your little aerobics class and just like, I don't know why the girls aren't coming. You don't know why they're not coming? You just ripped them both a new one over cupcakes. Speaking of ripped a new one, I want to hop back to this in episode 4. I didn't like how Tamara lashed out at Marco, because just because Dorinda got you together and brought you to tears, don't mean you need to do the same thing to Marco, right? Because Marco comes in and says that, do you guys need any more help, after Dorinda cussed the ladies out? And she was just like, no help from you. No, thank you. Why are you mad at him? You wanted some cupcakes, he gave you cupcakes. You wanted some yogurt, he gave you yogurt. He's an employee of Dorinda. He's not Dorinda. He didn't cuss you out. He didn't get you in trouble. Dorinda was wrong. That's where your issue should be. Since we're also talking about Marco, in episode 4, I did not like how Brandy took his shirt off, because Marco was not comfortable with that, right? He is there to work. You know, he was doing a little jig or whatever, but it was very obvious when Brandy went to take that man's shirt off, he did not want to do that. And then Brandy in her confessional was just like, earn your keep or something like that. Do your job, Marco. And I was just like, if the tables were reversed, this would be a big issue. And it should have been a big issue when she was trying to take that man's shirt off and he didn't want to do it. I hate how they treat employees. I hate it. What else do we have to talk about? Let's go back to anti-vax Vicky. I would never get insurance from you. She was like, well, I've heard all these things on the internet. You run a whole business taking care of people's life insurance policies. And you're listening to stuff off the internet. Everything, like when she was defending her views, everything was, well, I heard somewhere and I read on the internet. And she never had any viable sources, right? It was all just, well, I heard, and, you know, I saw it on Instagram. And it's just like, at your big age, this is how you get your proof? Like if Vicky was 16, I would be like, okay, child, you're a grown woman that runs a business where you have to take care of the life insurance policies of human beings. I would never get insurance from you. I wouldn't like this was, I mean, listen, maybe she just, maybe she just has a full line of people that, you know, can supply her life, you know, a lot of MAGA people or whatever who will buy insurance from her. But I was just like, that whole scene right there with her and Dorinda, I was just like, that was a bad commercial for your business. That was a bad commercial for your business because you just looked incompetent. You looked incompetent. And I think when you are giving, you know, when you are putting trust into somebody concerning and paying them concerning your life insurance policy, you want to at least believe that they are somewhat smart. You looked stupid in that scene where all of your sources were from the internet. And not saying that you can't get good information from the internet, but she would just say the internet. It wasn't, well, I read the on, you know, New York Times health doctor or whatever, you know, I read in the Yale or Harvard, you know, doctor's log, and I went to a seminar and I spoke with my doctor. Even if she said she spoke with her doctor, right? All she said was, I can't get the vaccine, right? That's what she started with. Then it became, well, I heard that it's bad for you, that it's killing people. I heard that it killed 9 people. From who? Where? Well, the internet. You look real dumb in that moment, Vicky. Real dumb. Real dumb. Having said that, I miss Whoop It Up Vicky. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I don't know if it's her political beliefs now and if she's just going down this train. I will say the MAGA people, the Trump people, they're all miserable. They're all angry and miserable. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's in an environment where she is just surrounded by foolish, miserable, hateful people, and she doesn't know how to be happy outside of that environment, right? Because it seems like that community, it's just like it's soulless, right? Their souls are removed from them, and they can't allow themselves to have fun or be happy or be smart without endangering some kind of community, right? It's like they get their connection is hate, right? Their connection is the extinction of some community. So you really can't have a good time in that, right? Especially when your launch pad is hate, when your launch pad is oppression, right? So you really can't have fun in that community. So I think because she's changed her whole community, that she just does not know how to be around these women and have a good time, because that probably has not been her life for the last few years. So I'm hoping that we get her back. I'm hoping that we can get some fun Whoop It Up Vicky. Tamara was trying to bring it out of her, but she was dry boots, which is something that Eva picked up on, right? Eva did pick up on that, and I think that is what annoys her the most about Vicky. But it was a little disappointing, because I'm just like, if you're on this show, we've watched you for all these years. We want you to deliver that. And if you're not going to deliver it, then why are you here? So just like how I am now with Dorinda, where I don't want her back on New York, I think Vicky is pretty much done for, because she's just not She's not giving anything. She had like one funny moment, but I'm like, I don't think that one funny moment could save OC. So, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. What else do I want to talk about before we move on into the mess? Phaedra. Hater or lover, she's in her redemption era. She's in her redemption era, and Andy is funding it. Andy is funding it because there's this viral clip now of him. I think when she was at Watch What Happens Live, of Phaedra, of Andy meeting Phaedra's sons. You know he loves Mr. President. He was beaming from ear to ear when he saw those boys. He was just, especially Mr. President, he was just so happy to see them, and you could tell that he missed them. You could tell that there was just some genuine, pure love there, and the way Phaedra is looking on this show, it's like they got her set up. They got her set up like she's the lead. She's the common sense. She's the fun. She has the most confessionals out of everybody, and then next week she's popping up on Dubai, right? So next week she's going to be on 2 Bravo shows. Maybe 3. I don't know if she's going to be on Watch What Happens live again, but I know she's going to make an appearance on the Real Housewives of Dubai, and then the following episode of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, she's going to be on. So 2 Bravo shows next week. Her redemption era is here. Hater or lover, she's back. I will say she was very enjoyable on this show. Very, very enjoyable, and kind of missed that Southern Belle presence on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So far, she's delivering. She's delivering. Taylor is delivering. I can't believe I just thought of that. But Eva and Phaedra's I don't know why they were so focused on Taylor's camel toe, but like every episode they was talking about that camel toe. Phaedra was like, she just walked out and it showed up. How you doing, camel toe? And the cameraman is like zooming in on Taylor's camel toe. I don't know why they were so focused on that, but that was some pure comedy. Eva's confessionals, extremely overproduced. Extremely overproduced. It doesn't sound like her. It just, I don't know. It just not working. Whatever they're trying to do, it is just not working. I don't like her confessionals at all. And then we went down and we got cheesecakes, and it was delicious. I love the ladies. Who is this white woman? It's not making sense. I do not enjoy Eva's confessionals. So let's talk about, that's all I want to talk about within those episodes. But let's talk about this before I hop into the comment section. What's up? Make it make sense. Through watching this so far, we're only 4 episodes in. I do not want Dorinda back on the Real Housewives of New York. She needs some kind of help. I'm not going to get any joy on the Real Housewives of New York. I'm not going to get any joy watching her demean these women. I can't do it. The way she treated Tamra, the way she treated Jill, the way she's just treating everybody. I don't like it. And I don't like the fact that she has no accountability. She acts like it didn't happen. And then if she's confronted where she has to be accountable, she falls down and cries and plays victim, and then gets nasty again. Because when Tamra was explaining to her how she hurt her feelings, here's Dorinda. Ain't you damn near 70? What are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm sorry, D or Dornado. Good one, Eva. I don't want you back on the Real Housewives of New York. I don't even want you on Legacy. If you're just going to treat these ladies terribly, keep it. Keep saying that lonely manner like Vicky said. Vicky was like, that's why she don't got no friends and stay in that manner all by herself because she's mean. And she was right. So if she's going to be this person, I don't want her back. Let her get some help, and then maybe she can come back. Let's test her out as friend of first. Vicky, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Listen, I would still allow it if she could have some fun. She can't have fun. Her joy has been taken away from her, girl. You better break free of that white supremacist cult you're in, because it is, you're not yourself. You're not yourself. You are actually less than who you were when we met you. So I just get rid of that crowd it ain't working for you. The white race is not going to go extinct. You don't have to have those views because let's be real, we all know what the end game here is, right? Like we know what it is. So listen, you'll be fine. Your community will be fine. Get back to the community that you had. Listen to your son. Get free because who this person is, it ain't working. It ain't working. You're a shell of who you used to be. If we can get old Vicky back, I'll allow it. I'll allow her on the Real Housewives of Orange County. But like I'm making up decisions. It's my opinion. Jill Zarin, I want her back. I know. Throw your tomatoes. I know. I've always liked Jill. I've always wanted her back on the Real Housewives of New York. And she's proven it here. Jill is annoying, right? Jill is the QVC Jill. I love when they were saying that. They were just like, Jill is going to sell us everything on her body. And she did. But she's fun, right? She gives us something. If she's going to show up in the scene, she's going to show up. Even if she's wearing her see-through Spiegel cargo pants, she's going to give you something. Because Jill, did you not look in the mirror before you walked out the house with those pants on? I was like, Mama, they see-through. But she's fun. She's fun. She's chaotic. She is New York City. I want her back on the Real Housewives of New York. I want Brandy back on the Real Housewives of New York if she can sign a contract and stick to it, that she will not drink. Because Brandy sober can also get you together. She's good sober as well. But when she's drunk, it just goes pure Dorinda. It's vile. It's nasty. She cuts everybody down. She'll have no allies, right? Because I feel like 1 to 2 more episodes, she's going to lose the black girls. She's going to lose them, right? She's going to cross some lines, and it'll be a point of no return. But I do want her back on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills sober. If we can't get her sober, keep her. I don't know if it'll be possible to get Phaedra back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I like her within the Bravo sphere. I think she worked great on the show. I think she's only going to get better. Eva can say where she's at. I like Eva. I just, amen. Tamra, I want her back on the Real Housewives of Orange County. She's good. She's good TV. That show is dead on arrival. They need her. Andy, make it happen. Please no Teddy. Let her leave Teddy in that podcast. But I want her back on the Real Housewives of Orange County. I went through everybody. Yeah, Taylor. I want Taylor back on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I will say, no shade. When we were introduced to Taylor in episode 1 and she was sitting down to dinner with her husband and her daughter, that kitchen set was a little tight. That dining room set was a little tight. So I don't know if Taylor got the budget, but she's good TV. She's good TV. I've always wanted Miss Oklahoma back on the show. So even if she don't got the budget, she has the relationships. So I would like her back on that show as well. So these are my thoughts so far concerning the 4 episodes that I have watched. There'll be more concentrated reviews when we're just getting back to just 1 episode. But breaking down 4 episodes in one live, we would have been here forever. And we got mess to talk about. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this show? Let's get into it. I want to go back and get some older comments, and then we're going to move. We're going to go down to the more current ones. Hey, Miss GG88. Miss GG88 said, I was with Vicky. How did the first season get Turks and Caicos and they got the Berkshires? Shady. Yeah, I would have felt some way about that as well. Thank you. These are my all culture earrings. All culture on Etsy. Love them. Black owned business. I have another set of earrings from her. I love her jewelry. I'll put it in the description box if you're interested. I don't think Dorinda needs Hey Dear Show podcast. I don't think Dorinda needs a man. Dorinda needs a therapist. She needs a therapist. Something is going on. And I don't know, because listen, I've never lost a husband. I've lost people that I love recently, right? So I get the mourning process. And I think that maybe because when we met her, her husband had just passed away and she just jumped into reality TV. Maybe she should not have jumped in so quickly. Maybe she should have took some time, some years, and then we met her later. Because I feel like every time we're watching her, she's going through some kind of breakdown. especially when she was in the van and talking to the lady. She was crying about her husband, Mr. Medley, who went on to glory. She's still not over that, right? And she's also said that she's very lonely, and she's in that manor all by herself. And her daughter, her daughter's grown. She's living her own life. So yeah, there's some things that are happening. There's some things that are happening. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but I know she needs some help before she could ever walk through those Real Housewives of New York doors. She's been vile, and y'all know I love Dorinda. I love Dorinda, but she has been vile to these ladies. It's not. It's not okay. It's not okay. Well, because I have Xfinity, I get it for free. So that's how I was able to watch it. I wasn't going to pay for Peacock. Listen, I have far too many streaming services. Far too many. I had to cut it down. But I get it. I get it for free with Xfinity. But it's good. I think this season is good. I didn't like season one. I didn't like season one. Miss Gigi88 also said, Brandy has always been my girl. She brings the mess. The season would be dry without her. Real talk. She's been in all the drama. All the drama. Real talk. Hey, Ima. Ima said, hey, Star Family. Hey, Nikki. I'm watching in the background while working, but so excited you're reviewing this. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's a good show. I'm enjoying it. To her face. And as a Black woman, I can tell you this because Black don't crack with us. Don't put that on the Black community. You are lying to that woman. She looks every bit of 60, and that's okay. That is okay. This is the thing, right? Especially with women who are so caught up with being young again. I do it too, right? But do you want to go back to being 20? With the same budget? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always think about it. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could go back. But it's always a caveat, right? I want to go back to being 24, but I want to be making the money that I'm making and have the common sense that I have. And if I'm not going to have that, then the deal is over. Like, it is what it is. It happened. It is what it is. I can just age gracefully and have a good time. You know what I mean? But women often do that. And I'm just like, you got to think it through. You got to think it through. Do you really want to go back? You know you want to be making the money that you're making now, but be 24. Wouldn't that be great? But that's not life, right? That is not reality living in the capitalist nation, baby. You're going to work to the bone, okay? And you're going to be able to live better when you are older. So it's like, just be 60 and be okay. You don't have to look like a 40-year-old when you're 60. It's fine. You've lived that life. It's okay. Just age gracefully. Just age gracefully. Still has a problem. Still has a problem. Can we talk about her son? When we met Brandy in episode 1, she was talking to her son. I was like, that is Eddie. That baby is Eddie. All Brandy did was carry that child. Eddie did everything else. He looked just like his daddy. It's so crazy how, oh my God, Lord, please don't let that happen to me. I am far too beautiful to not have my kids look like me. Absolutely not. But it's just so funny when you like you see kids and you see like their parents, and it's always like one dominant parent. Like Crystal on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, those kids don't look nothing like their daddy. Dare I say, you would never think that they had a white father. You would never think that those kids had a white daddy. Crazy. But that boy looks just like Eddie. So adorable. So adorable. Samantha says, spicy lasagna Brandy, not coming to my cookout. I would not eat any of that food at that place. If I say that Bluestone Manor, I would have lost so much weight because, first of all, let's get into it. When Dorinda is cussing out Tamara and Vicky, who just had COVID and is unvaccinated, they're doing all this screaming over the food. Over the food that you want to serve the people. Vicky is yelling out COVID particles all over the croissants. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, you know what? I don't think the show protected her. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm telling you, whenever I see a woman on camera and she looks a mess, I don't get mad at that woman. I get mad at the cameraman. I get mad at the lighting director, and I get mad at hair and makeup, because why in the hell? It is your job. It is your job to make sure that talent looks good. How dare you put that out there? And then the talent got to watch that back and feel embarrassed. Yes, I take it personally. I've had a couple of appearances where I was just like, why in the hell would they do that to me? Why the hell would they do that to me? I don't like that, because I can't see what I look like, right? I can't see what I look like. So I don't like that. Like, I know what I look like in a mirror, but I don't know what I look like under your lights. You're looking at me under your lights. You're looking at me through your lens, right? Your hair and makeup, I could probably kind of gauge hair and makeup sometimes, especially, but it's not fair. I didn't like that. I did not like that. Brandy probably always had that dent. We should have never seen it. Protect your cast. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Ima said, Ethan and Phaedra are the most grounded. Yes, they really, really are. Those other ladies stay creating problems. The confessional commentary keeps me in stitches. Phaedra's hilarious. Ethan and Phaedra are the goats of this season. Really are. I will say I enjoyed, although I don't want her back on Atlanta, I just felt like she didn't test well with the ladies. But I will say this, she's good on this show. Like, if this was a cast, if this was a permanent cast, I would watch it. I would absolutely watch it as a full-on show, as a full-on continued show. JL, I was so shocked, because I know how Bravo sets are, right? I know they do not play. You cannot go on a Bravo set unvaccinated. They must really needed Vicky, or because she said that she has an issue, so she can't get the vaccine. Because I don't think you could just say, "Oh, I'm not going to get it," and you can work on that set. I think if you have a real exemption, then you can absolutely do it. And that was probably the case, but still. I'm like, the cast found out on camera that not only are they filming with somebody who's unvaccinated while we're still in a freaking pandemic, but this unvaccinated person also had COVID not too long ago. That strain inside that bra could probably take out a whole kindergarten. Why the hell you got me filming with her? I'm telling you guys, no shade. I would have left that scene immediately and got on the phone with my agent and lawyer. No games. I'm like, if I'm gonna stay here, we got to fix that contract. We got to fix that contract, because I did not know that I was going to be in a high risk situation. Let's talk money. Call Andy. Let's talk money, because absolutely not. Absolutely not. They sure would have. They sure would have. Let me get some other comments. JL said, whenever I thought of Brandy, I thought of a Wendy Williams interview where she slipped that she complained her ex would not allow her children to appear on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. There could be so much money. I remember that too. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that too. Eddie wouldn't allow it. But I guess now that the boys are older, they can, make their own decisions. And maybe, Eddie was just like, okay, let's get this coin. Ima said, if I had to render money, I don't think I care much. Get a cleaning crew and exterminators. I think that I think if the cameras weren't there, she wouldn't care. I think she cared because the cameras is there, and she does not, nobody wants, to be filming. And because these freaking bugs ain't no joke. I don't know how they be getting in here. Ciao. Y'all know I've had my situations. Nobody wants to be filming and a rat runs across the screen with a cupcake. Like, that's what she's nervous about. And she doesn't want to say that. So instead of saying what it really is, she did kind of say it, but she didn't really just say, like, guys, I have a little rat problem, and I don't want, the rats to be filmed, right? Instead of just saying that, she just cussed out Tamra, and it was just awful. Of course she hasn't. She takes no accountability. I'm so disappointed in her. Tia B has said on Watch What Happens Live, Dorinda said she hasn't worked on her anger issues. She needs to. Candace said, if Dorinda's going to behave like this, I don't want to see her on my TV anymore. Same, same. I'd rather have Jill back than her. I like Jill. Ah, I like Jill. You know what? Probably. She's also been on a downward spiral since Ramona said that her and John had a coke problem. That cast was messy, but boy, oh boy, did they work together. Boy, oh boy, did they work together. I don't think so. Because she was also very delusional, talking about how Bravo put her on pause. Brandy was like, "You were fired. You were not put on pause. You were fired, like the rest of us." But Momi said, haven't seen the girls trip show, but it seems like Dorinda won't be making it back to RHONY. And Andy did her a favor by pulling her off of TV. Yeah, she's spiraling. And I was so excited to see her. I was like, oh, Bluestone Manor is going to be messy. But I'm like, you are awful. Just awful. And like, we'll take no accountability. It's everybody else's fault. Hey, Marvina. Marvina said, Dorinda is a mess, but I want her to cook me some baked chicken and dressing. I remember her making that years ago and can't forget it. I'm a RHONY fan. Does Dorinda have a cookbook? Because she seems like she'd be shaking and baking in the kitchen. Well, you know what? Not her. Because Brandy exposed her. Brandy was just like, oh, she don't make that lasagna. It's y'all in here cooking. So I want to know how her housekeeper and Marco's food tastes, not Dorinda's. Tiny said, but I'm a little glad Brandy has a safety net, exposing she can see what she does when drunk sometimes. But wasn't she was always drunk on the show too. And I don't know. She did say she was not going to drink. She told her son that. And as soon as she got there, she got a drink. Let's talk about it. It's a beautiful location. Rats, roaches included, but it's a beautiful location, Marvina. It's a beautiful location. Marvina also said, Dorinda used to be processed dye, like then the mobster's wife when mad, but now it's just me. You know what? She hasn't talked about it because it always seemed like she's dated affluent wasp. But I feel like somewhere in Dorinda's life, maybe teenage Dorinda, I feel like she was dating some gangsters back in the day. Because how in the hell are you like this? Like, you are so gangster for no reason. No reason. I feel like she's dated some mob boys. She looks great. The blonde is maybe just keep highlights. But girl, sometimes I did like the blonde bob. I really, really did. I did like that. But girl, hey, Miss Brown Sugar. Miss Brown Sugar said, I cracked up the first episode, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. There are way too many unlikable people for me to actually enjoy myself. Dorinda is taking it down a notch for me. She really is. As the show went on, I was like, eee. Hey, New Mommy D. Thank you so much for the super chat. New Mommy D rightfully said, Dorinda is bonkers, unfortunately. Yeah, Jazzy, I heard. And that's why I'm not watching the show. Like, I mean, they got rid of everybody, to be quite honest with you. And that I understand. But I just feel like they didn't settle it for me. Like, I don't think that Shoni did her due diligence for me. I just didn't like it. I did not like it. Helena said, as a crazy, overly emotional person, I relate to Taylor on a spiritual level. She was doing so well, but listen, her outburst was warranted. Brandy pushed so many buttons. Like, did you see Taylor's face when she said that to her? When Brandy said, oh, I went through a lot that season. And Taylor genuinely asked, well, what did you go through? She was like, when your husband committed suicide. Taylor's eyes got big and she just didn't speak. She just froze. She was so like embarrassed and shocked. And after dealing with this woman who has done so much harm to her, her outburst was warranted. I was here for it. Hey, Taida. Taida said, unpopular opinion, I don't think everything Phaedra said about Kandi was a lie, especially since she's friends with T.I. and Tiny. Yikes. Maybe Phaedra was in the right ballpark but had the wrong target, or maybe she probably said something that shouldn't have been said on camera. Maybe she just crossed the line. It was like to the point of no return. I will say, I thought that it was something that they all could get over. I really, really did, because it wasn't that what Phaedra said wasn't harmful. I was just like, Kandi, nobody believes that. Like when Phaedra said that, I was like, oh, here they go, just gossip, right? I don't think that any of us believed it, but then Kandi's reaction, I was like, did you think that there was ever like a moment where any of us would believe that you guys would do that? That's when I was like, well, why do you feel that way? Right? So it was just very weird. I did not think that it was a big deal when it happened, because nobody believed it. And I didn't think that anybody would. However, it didn't happen to me, right? And how Kandi feels about it is how Kandi feels about it. But I was just like, girl, I think you're safe. Nobody believes that. But again, it's how she feels about it. What's up? It's Latasha. It's Latasha says she needs to reconcile with Don. She hasn't been right since. Yep. She has not. She has not. She said that Don didn't fill up her love tank. She said that he filled it up halfway. She wanted to get it to full. Well, girl, it's empty now. And he done moved on. It's empty now. Your life has been hell since you left that man. I'm telling you. I always say this to people. My especially my friends who are in relationships, stay. Like, unless you're getting beat up, you know what I mean? Unless a person is abusive, stay, because it's not better. It's not better out here. It's not, it's getting worse. You got one when it was good. You better stick beside them, train them, teach them, send them back to school, but don't come back out here. It's not what you think. It's worse. It's worse. Poor thing. Poor thing. Can we talk about this, Tiny? Tiny was like, oh, OMG, like, why also was her ex so mean to dump her a day before filming and still living in her home in Mexico? I was like, you bought a home that he moved into and you weren't living there with him? Vicky, down bad. You better go back to Don. You better go back to Don. Yeah. Sierra said Jill has gotten so much more self-aware and she really pulled Dorinda's card. She did. Jill feels some sort of way because I think that she feels like she was responsible for bringing Dorinda on the show. And I think she wanted Dorinda to bring her back or like vouch for her. Like, I think she believes she vouched for Dorinda. But I'm like, Jill, all you said was you invited her to film. You never said, and I told Andy, or I told Bravo, or I made sure that, she was in the audition room. You never said that. And so, but Jill does that a lot. Like, Jill wants people to be a better friend to her than she is to them. And it don't work like that, Jill. But I also think that Jill thinks that she's being this amazing friend. That's why I would want her back. She's annoying. She's annoying. She will make a scene. She will make a scene. Yes, guys, please remember to like the video. I want to get a few more, and then we're going to get into the mess, and then everybody can go back to resting. New Mommy D said, Bluestone Manor is giving Haunted Mansion, and it looks cluttered in some places. The food also looks unseasoned. So Dorinda's doing too much, far too much. Far too much. I will say the nicest room that I have seen of Bluestone Manor so far is Eva's room. Eva's room looked really nice. Any other time, Bluestone Manor just gives me like a cluttered Marshalls that's going out of business. A cluttered Home Goods that's going out of business. No, not Home Goods. A cluttered Ross that's going out of business. Nobody cares anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like the store is closing on Tuesday, so we're not picking up nothing. Hangers is all over the place. Bras and panty sets are separated on two different sides. Perfume bottles are open. People then put their hands all in the makeup. You know what I mean? Foundation is spilled all over the place. That's what it gives me. But Eva's room, really nice. Really, really, really nice. Really, really nice. Let me get K Pratt. You guys are talking to here. I'm trying to get as many as I possibly can, guys. K Pratt said, I think Dorinda is sadly one of those people whose issues could be resolved with just 1 year of therapy, but she'll never go consistently because she doesn't think she has a problem. Whenever anybody lets her know that she's in the wrong or that she has done something in error, she says, oh, no, that didn't happen. So, how can she get better? How can she get better if she doesn't think that there's a problem? Dorinda's issue is that everybody is wrong and they need to see her way. How did you keep on getting these rich husbands being so stubborn? Or are you that girl that's only like this with other women? Because, oh my goodness, it happens all the time. There's always that girl that is nasty, right, to other women that takes no accountability, right? Can't see any wrongdoing, but knows how to treat a man. When you see her with a man, it's just like, oh, you actually listen? Oh, you actually take accountability? Oh, you know right from wrong? But it's only when you're dealing with men. Eek. I hope she ain't that girl. I think so too, Miss Brown Sugar. Miss Brown Sugar said, I bet Andy did use words pause in his conversation with her so he didn't have to face the wrath. I think so too. I absolutely think so too. Miss T said, I think this season they turned the butler into man candy and it didn't feel as organic. It's making him awkwardly dance with them and take off his shirt. Yeah, I didn't like that. He did not want to take off his shirt. Oh, Miss Brown Sugar said, well, in an interview with Extra, shout out to Rachel Lindsay, Brandy admitted she was high most of the trip and doesn't even remember half of the scenes. We don't do that. Ciao. Ciao. Hey, Megan. Megan said, not to rehash, but Candy said there were people in her comments calling her Bill Cosby. So I think it was a public perception. Listen, how she felt about that, that's the right way, right? There's no other explanation or there's no other opinion that needs to be had when the person who was on the other side of that feels this way. So I get it. I get it. Let me get two more and then let's hop over into the mess. Helena said, I've never been an Eva fan ever since America's Next Top Model, but she always looks perfect, makeup, hair, fashion, 10 out of 10. She's stunning. Eva's stunning. That works for her. She is stunning. Hey, V said, I remember Dorinda snapping at Sonia and at Tinsley. She can be a mean-spirited woman. Yes. Yes. Yes, me too. I think that's probably what's holding her back. Miss T said was holding her back from her healing. Miss T said Dorinda is still in love with Richard. I truly wish she could move on and be happy without him. Yeah, girl, you gotta get rid of that tree. Richard's not here. You are. You have to live your life. And maybe she just feels bad for still being here and he isn't. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, mama, this is ugly. You got to do better. Hey, Just Jonda. Just Jonda said, I have a friend in hair and makeup who just worked with Dorinda. She said Dorinda is a gem to the staff. She already told her agent, book her with Dorinda anytime, day or night. I love that. That's great to hear. That is great to hear because I was very concerned about that. I'm like, is this how you treat if this is how you treat the guests in your home? How the hell are you treating that staff? That's why, for two reasons, I didn't like that Tamara went off on Marco. It was just rude and disrespectful. I also felt bad because I was just like, is Dorinda going to go off on Marco? Because Tamara was really trying to push the blame on him, which it was, but it's just like he was doing his job. So it falls on Dorinda's lap. So I was very concerned about that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that because I like Dorinda. I loved her for the Real Housewives of New York, but she's just been so nasty for so long with no accountability. I can't get with it. And then she makes up these excuses. You know what I mean? Like the way she cussed out Tamara and tore her down. Oh, I was just, getting a little bit excited about, teaching the aerobics class. That's not a good excuse. There's no excuse for you to treat people like that, Dorinda. There's no excuse. Really? New Mommy D said, just telling me Eva don't look different because me and my best friends feel like something is different. Still beautiful, but I don't know. No, I think she looks the same. She just looks like she smokes. You know what I mean? Like Omarion looks the same, but it's obvious that he smokes. Everybody know the smoker look, especially in the Black community. We're going to end right here with JL, then we're going to get into the mess. JL said therapy would really make Dorinda's life happier in the long run. Mourning the death of a loved one has many faces. Anger and rage are one of them. Listen, she probably shouldn't have jumped in the show right after he passed away. She needed some time. She needed some time. Poor thing. Anyway, let's get into the mess. So, ciao. What the hell is going on over at Bravo? So all of this started because Garcelle said that Diana needs to be educated. So Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live. I watched the whole episode, right? Because a lot of you sent me the clip. Thank you so much. But I was just like, let me watch this whole episode because Diana, her response, like, come on, there had to be more. This is literally what set Diana off. Andy spoke to Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live, and he was just like, concerning the issue that Diana had with Philly Diva on Instagram. Shout out to Philly Diva. Look at you being on Watch What Happens Live, right? The freaking kingpin of the housewife shows knows who you are. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, racism. You did a good thing. Because Philly Diva's on the up and up. Shout out to her. So anyway, Andy says that to her. And he's just like, so what did you think about that whole situation? And Diana's response, all Garcelle said was, she needs to be educated. And then they moved on to something else. That was it. That was it. I watched that whole episode waiting for there to be something else, right? So because Garcelle says this, Diana then says this. Because Garcelle said Diana needs to be educated. That's it. Diana responds, and I don't know if it was a notes app or whatever. I don't know if she took a picture of a Microsoft Word document, but girl, what? This is Diana's response. Diana says, dear Garcelle, next time you go on national television, why don't you educate viewers on how many times I went to Haiti? Excuse me? Excuse me? What the hell that got to do with the situation? Your home country. Why don't you tell them how many planes full of first aid and medical supplies I sent to Haiti? Why don't you tell viewers how many millions of my dollars, dirty money, how many millions of my dollars I have given your country? A woman from Bosnia did that. What? I don't understand. I don't understand what this beef is. Why are you here? A woman from Bosnia did that. Also, you could have mentioned all of the money I have given and everything I have done for women's rights in Congo and other 100% Black communities. Now it's a fight. Now, you listen, sis. You woke us up. You called us into this. It was between you and Garcelle. You called in the whole Black diaspora. Get ready, because this Bravo check is done for you, and that's on you. That's on you. You are very familiar with all the work I have done for human rights all around the globe. And then she says, P.S. Crystal is not a liar, because Garcelle, because Andy was just like, so do you think that there's more to what Sutton said about Crystal? And Garcelle was like, no, it's made up. Crystal was not telling the truth. It was a lie. She said it's completely made up. Sutton didn't say anything more than that. And listen, I gotta believe Garcelle on this one, because Crystal, pause Diana for a second. Crystal, it just doesn't make sense. If you as a person of color, and listen, I know it's probably different for the Asian community. I'm absolutely speaking as a Black woman about this situation. So it might be different for you guys, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw myself in a person of color pot, right? As somebody who experiences racism, this white woman says something mad, racist, and dark to you, and you say to her, let's just move on. What? It don't make sense, Crystal. It don't make sense. What person who's on the other side of racism wants to move forward with the racists? You don't want to expose them. You don't want to see their life crumble right before your eyes. It don't make sense. All you want for a racist is destruction. Like, let's be real here. You don't want to ever see them win. And if you got a racist by the balls, girl, you got them. You because you're waiting for that moment. You're waiting for that moment. It's just like, oh, gotcha. Gotcha in 4K, right? You got that racist. Now it's time. Now you're going to be in this fight with this racist. You're going to be in this on this racist takedown. You using the strength of your ancestors to destroy this racist in their bloodline. You don't say, let's move on. Everybody is asking you what was said. And you're like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. No, it was dark. It was racist. It was, a lot of people of color would have a problem with it, but let's move on. Let's be friends. It doesn't make sense, girl. It doesn't make sense. And maybe you are just that one person of color that is just so different from all of us. You don't feel the same way. You just want to move on, right? The Klan is not so bad. Let's just move on from the Klan. Girl, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I gotta rock with Garcelle on this one because you're not making any sense. And if you don't say what Sutton said at the reunion, you're done. You're done. Because let's be real, right? Making an accusation about somebody being a racist, that could harm anybody's career, right? You just can't do that. Not in this day and age. Well, maybe, if the Supreme Court keeps on working how they're working, maybe you can, right? Maybe there won't be any consequences. I don't know. Keep me in your prayers. But it's not making sense, Crystal. It's not. So I'm going to rock with Garcelle on this one, right? So that's why Diana said, P.S. Crystal was not a liar. Okay. Thank you, Hitler with a side bang. Anyway, so that is Diana's response to Garcelle from saying that she needs to be educated. Let's bring this up again, right? I don't know why Diana thought it was necessary to not only bring up Haiti, but the Black community. It's giving white savior because that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. You're saying that Garcelle should be nice to you and should say that you don't need to be educated because you've always given money to Black communities and where she's from. What? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I don't know the person's name. I forget this character's name, but it's giving that character in The Color Purple. I've always been nice to you people. That's what it's giving. It's giving like, listen up, Blackie. You don't correct me because I make sure your communities survive. It's giving plantation, Diana. And I know you're a woman from Bosnia, but you know racism. You know what the hell you're doing. You're in those communities. You're a one-season wonder. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ain't no way you coming back on our screens. You're a one-season wonder because there was no reason to bring up Haiti. Listen, even if you were just like, oh, what Diana said wasn't racist about Haiti, why the hell is she bringing the Black community? And let's talk about this. She brought in the Black community and didn't capitalize the B. Which is why, guys, I know I'm not giving this woman an out. But that lowercase b, that is a microaggression. And Diana is the literal embodiment of microaggressions, right? I'm telling you, there's no way that Hitler with a side swoop would capitalize the B in Black when she responded to Philly Diva. I'm telling you, I think she copied something. If it wasn't her, it was an intern, it was one of her kids, or it was her child groom, right? I just don't think Diana would never capitalize the B. And here it is. Right here, I got the freaking proof. She would never do that. That's why she always misspells Garcelle's name. That's why she always says that Garcelle is unwelcoming, right? Every Black woman has been in that position, right? When you're at a job You have that one white coworker. It's always a white woman. Sorry. Let's be real. It's always a white woman. It's always a white woman reporting us to HR for not being welcoming. Oh, I just think you don't like me. Diana is playing all them racism microaggression cards. She can't come back. There's no way that that woman is going to come back to the show because she took what started out to be a really good season and made it dark. It made it dark because of her freaking Instagram. Stay off of Instagram. You got far too many skeletons in your closet to be playing the way you are playing. You're lucky that you're going to battle with somebody who always takes the high road. Oh my God. If Garcelle is not Michelle Obama, I don't know who she is. You're lucky that you are not in a battle with Candace. You're lucky. You are so lucky you're going to battle with Garcelle, girl. But she got to back up. Cherie is here. She got to back up. So anyway, let's get into what else happened from this, right? So Diana puts up this, let's call it what it is, this racist message, right? And then RINNA responds and she says this. And this is under Diana's Instagram. She says, when you have a hashtag receipts, you show them. Now I want to say this. Not you talking about receipts. Not you who bought a table at Elton John's charity event and something they had nothing to do with it. Not you talking about receipts when you were upset with something for bringing receipts. For exposing the fact that you and your husband snuck into this event on her dime. Now receipts are the thing to do, but only when it's against somebody you don't like and not against you. Girl, sit down. You and that tired wig is done. So she says when you have tax receipts, you show them. Kendall Jackson said, Lisa RINNA, I love you, but please. Then the real Yvonne says, Lisa RINNA, you weren't saying that when Sutton showed hers from Elton John's dinner. In fact, you blank yourself and call her classless. But this is how this group works, right? This is how the Scissor Sisters work. They can do stuff, but you can't do it. What works for them cannot work for you if you are not within that clique or cult, right? So then RINNA goes on her Instagram and she puts this in her stories. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I had it up. Hold on. Because y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this mess. I thought I had it. Don't tell me I deleted them. Ooh, I did. Hold on. Let me load it. Talk amongst yourselves. Rhode Island is neither a road or an island. Discuss. Child, because y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. This was so messy. My mom came to me. My mom, who does not watch Beverly Hills, came to me. It was just like, did you see this from Lisa RINNA? I'm like, what are you talking about? She never watches this show. And this right here set her off. And you know where she saw it? She saw it on the Shade Room. She saw it on the Shade Room because that's where she resides. Baby. That's how I got that tea first, my mama. Okay. I gotta see this. I'm so sorry. I thought I had this prepared. I'm so sorry. Okay. Here we go. So after RINNA responds to Diana about the receipts, she then hops on Instagram and says on her Instagram stories that she quickly deleted. Weird. Why would you do this? We fight on our show. If we fight with Garcelle, we are all of a sudden called a racist. That's BS. I would not accept that. I will express myself when and how I want, and I am not afraid of any of you hoes. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? Because first of all, we're on this season. Nobody has said that anybody was a racist aside from Hitler with the side bang, because she keeps on cussing out Black people and stating the fact why she's cussing them out is because they're Black. Her grievance is with blackness. So everybody is cussing her out, rightfully so, because of it. Because there's no way that what she said wasn't wrong. If Crystal called her and was just like, what you responded to Philly Diva, you need to fix that. That's why Diana quickly apologized, because Crystal told, you know what, Crystal? Let's stop right there. Why are you always protecting racists? Come on. So, what's going on with you, Crystal? Something going on with you. You are always protecting a racist. It's giving Clarence Thomas. It's giving Clarence Thomas. Crystal Clarence Thomas. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about you, girl. You're far too young to be here. What the hell did your parents do to you by raising you in that white neighborhood? Something happened. That white suburban neighborhood, they did something to you. You unwell. The way you are operating on the wrong side of history. I'm concerned. But anyway, that was RINNA's response. But nobody said anything to her. All people said was, okay, like, you don't need to. The first two comments, like, come on, like, don't defend her. But then you bring Garcelle into it. So this makes me think, right? I'm sorry, RINNA, I got to be honest. This makes me think that when Garcelle said at the reunion that she was told that you said you didn't want a black person on the show because you didn't want them to bring race into the show. I believe it now. I absolutely 1000% believe that you said that. Because why is this your response? Let me tell you something. I don't think there's a racist watching, but I will say this. Racists, y'all always show your cards. Y'all always show your cards. And you think you're being slick, right? You think you got it covered, but you always show your hand. And Diana and Lisa showed their hand. Diana and Lisa showed their hand. I won't necessarily go out on my way and say that RINNA is a racist. I think she got a problem with people who don't look like her, right? Especially if they're on the same platform as she is, and she can't talk or mistreat them without certain, the way she's speaking to them or mistreating them being called out, right? So she feels like she can poke at Garcelle, yell at Garcelle, demean Garcelle, and it be okay when we've seen you treat your white castmates different. So we can't point that out because that's just how you treat everybody. Well, we have receipts from the show that you don't. We have receipts that you know how to show restraint when your cast members look like you. But if they come with a little wide nose and some melanin, you're ready to fight. So yes, we can absolutely call that out. But you said it. And if you would have shut up, nobody would have thought this. But I absolutely believe you said you did not want a black person on the show because you didn't want to bring race into it, because you're scared, right? Because you probably say a little things, you probably act a certain way, right? And you were scared having somebody in such close proximity to you that you would slip up, and you did just that. You slipped up. So here's her next story on Instagram. She says, and if you are just so triggered by our show, and a lot of you blanks are, go watch Dubai. Let's just talk about this. Diana specifically made comments to the only black person on the show, which is so weird because you're beefing with freaking Sutton. If Sutton is the issue, why are you always going for Garcelle? Like, unwarranted. Garcelle could just be there and Diana is taking shots at her. Like, she's just disgusted by Garcelle's presence. And we all know why. Like, come on. Like, we're not dumb here. We all been through this enough, right? Generational trauma, okay? Our grandparents telling us certain places where to go. Our parents telling us to get in before the lights come on, before the street lights come on. Sundown towns. We know this. We know this well. So you're not getting over on anybody, right? But you always come for this woman for no freaking reason other than you can. And you feel safe doing that because of how she looks. Let's be real here. Anyway, so RINNA says this, right? Diana made comments about the only black person on the cast, and then she brought the black community, lowercase b, into it. So RINNA responds, and you're cussing out the people that Diana are talking about on your Instagram stories. Hoes. You're calling them hoes. You're calling them ussies and all this stuff. And then you tell them to go watch Dubai. So my thing is, who are you talking to, right? If you're saying that it's not about race, who are the people that you're talking to that you say always always says that you guys are racist if you're mistreating Garcelle? Who is that community? Like, who are you talking to? You and Diana out here calling out the Black community, cussing us out, and we can't say anything? We can't defend the Black cast member on your show that you're mistreating? But you can sit here and continue to take shots, insult the community, call us all kinds of names, and think nobody gonna say anything. Okay, right? And then she mentions, if you're so triggered, go watch Dubai. Let me tell you something. RHONY is smart. She's dumb, but she got some smart in her, right? There's some smartness is residing because she knew, I'm sorry, I love you, Dubai, but she knew to say Dubai and not Atlanta. She knew to say Dubai and not Atlanta. Girl, she knew to say Dubai and not Atlanta. Twitter would have been ablaze. She would have woke up past cast members on that show. Everybody would have met her on the war field and tore that woman to shreds. She knew. I was reading that and I died laughing because I was like, you knew to say Dubai. You knew to say Dubai. You knew. She knew not to say Atlanta and she knew not to say Potomac because of Candace. She knew. Smart. You're dumb, but you're smart too. She knew. I read that. I was like, yeah, you smart. She gauged your situation and was just like, what Black Bravo show do I want to come after? I'll pick Dubai. Because Carolyn is in there, so they can't say nothing. Girl, you smart, because you know them Atlanta and Potomac girls would have got you together. You smart, but I think this is you and Diana's last season. I don't know how RINNA is going to escape this one. I don't know. I feel like if Andy likes her like that and wants to keep her on the show, he's going to have her on Watch What Happens Live, and he's going to try to have her fix that situation. But I don't know. I do not know. So anyway, so she says this, right? And then the Dubai girls respond, Chanel and Lisa. Carolyn also said, Carolyn tagged her, K. Michelle. She tagged her. She was just like, RINNA, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by go watch Dubai, right? So then Chanel chimes in and she says, RINNA, Africa calling, they want their lips back. Keep Dubai out of your mess in your mouth. Tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for a brand new episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai. And she tagged her employer in this. Love it. Then Lisa chimed in and said, she does not want this heat. We're not Beverly Hills. Come on. We will drag her from right up off that doctor's table to the desert. Then Chanel said the desert heat hits different. Oh, RINNA, I think you messed up big time. I think this is more than the bunny. Okay, this is more than, were you doing coke in the bathroom, right? This is a little bit bigger than that. And I don't, listen, we're not going front. You said it yourself. Y'all need this check. Your family need this Bravo check. I don't know why you would mess with it. I don't know why you would mess with it like that. I think RINNA has gotten to the point where she thinks she's untouchable. I think she's about to find out that she isn't, which is why she quickly deleted that post. And I just see this spiraling. It's going to get uglier. It's absolutely going to get uglier. But you know what? She started it. She started it. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about. Let me get to these comments. New Mommy D, thank you so much for the super chat. New Mommy D says, shout out to the ladies from the Real Housewives of Dubai for dragging RINNA. They did a good job. They did a good job. Greta said, if Garcelle does not drag RINNA for Filth at the Reunion, I'm done with her. You might be done. Garcelle's not that girl. She's not that girl. JL said, sounds like substances helping RINNA slipping some of her true feelings. She better blame it on that. I think she went too far because this is the thing. Who are you talking to? Who are you calling hoes and ussies? And who are the people that you are yelling at that says that they make everything about race when it comes to Garcelle? Who are you talking about, right? It's like, we know you're talking about us. So that's why there are now Black blogs talking about it, right? That's why it's on the Shade Room. That's why my mama, who don't even watch this show, sent that to me because she was just like, what's going on over here? I think RINNA stepped in. I think she stepped a little too deep in the doo-doo she normally resides in. El Michelle said Diana is here to go after Sutton and Garcelle, but she is failing miserably. Yeah, I think the sisters set her up to this. Set her up, and they was just like, yeah, you're going to come on this season to be the villain, but she's doing a very poor job. And I think she goes after Garcelle the way that she goes after people of color, right? That she goes after people who she thinks is less than, who her community will not care about, who she will receive no repercussions from being white and rich. So I think she's just so used to that. And they you're in a meeting about Garcelle and Sutton and saying, go after these two. But you're not teaching her that, everything that she's doing is being filmed. So you can't go after Garcelle like you go after Black women in your everyday life or Black people in your everyday life. You got to pull it back. You got to act a little different. People are watching. You know what I mean? So I think that is what happened. And, she got exposed. This is who she really is. Because even when she was getting on the show, everybody, before she even, when she was made the cast member on the show, everybody was talking about she got a whole lawsuit from a Black bodyguard, security guard, because she got into a land dispute with one of her neighbors. And the security guard said that as soon as he told her that she could not, I think she was either cutting a tree or jumping on her neighbor's property. As soon as he told her not to do that, he said she immediately went to calling me all kinds of slurs. So now all this stuff is going to come up. You know what I mean? It was coming up already when she was cast on the show, the madam stuff, the racism stuff. I think it's just going to get worse for her because y'all could have just said nothing. You could have just shut up. But I think it's because she is so used to mistreating people who look like Garcelle without any kind of repercussion. She just thought that it would be the same thing on camera. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We got you in 4K. You on candid camera. You're done. You's a one-season wonder. Hey, DGF627 said, and that is why RINNA appointed Diana as her workplace bully. Come on, to get revenge on Sutton for sharing her receipts. Why else is she so aggressive with Sutton? Absolutely. Let me tell you something. The whole cast want to buck up and get aggressive with Garcelle and Sutton. The reason why they all have it is one, because Kyle wisened up. She realized that Garcelle was not going anywhere and Sutton was not going anywhere. So she said she'd rather just ghost produce and have a good time and let her minions do her dirty work, right? Because we got to be real with you. Sutton and Garcelle were the stars of last season. Everybody loved them, and those broads hated it. Hated it because nobody has been so loved on their first season like Garcelle and Sutton. It doesn't, well, especially the Garcelle and Sutton duo. Nobody has been as loved as Sutton as Garcelle has been. Nobody. And there has never been such a dynamic newbie duo ever on this show. So they are shook by their presence because they cannot do anything. They've been able to, they that little, the sisters just felt strong because they were able to get off of LVP and other people who came up against them, right? But they tried their darndest to get rid of those two and it did not work. Everything they tried, the fans fought harder, right? And at the end of the day, they can't touch them because it's us who makes those decisions, basically. So if they're testing well, Bravo is not getting rid of them. So they now have to work with these fan favorites who are absolutely going to take over that show, and they can't do a damn thing about it. So these bros are unraveling. Because they had their whole show set up, right? They had their whole system. They had this clique, and who wasn't a part of it, they got out. And they were able to sit and eat and live lavishly and have a good time off of these Bravo checks and doing whatever they wanted at their workplace. But now corporate has sent in people who they are saying these two people, they're managers here. They're not coming in as no low level. They don't got to go through this. They don't got to do all this training. You don't have to have meetings with them. We gave them what they're supposed to do, and they are going to manage this, and they're not going anywhere because we hired them. for this role. So you now have to figure out how to work with them. You can't go to me. You can't go to HR. You can't talk about how you don't like them because these are our employees. We put them here. So you got to play nice. That's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. Momi said, I can relate. A white colleague told my supervisor that I was cold. Happens all the time. Why do you think I got these crow's feet? Is that what they call crow's feet? Because me being as dark as I am with my ancestors' features, I got to make sure I smile every time. So I'll look, so I won't look aggressive or scary to the lighter folk. It's exhausting. A white colleague told my supervisor that I was cold because I was so focused on the task at hand and wasn't very conversational with her. Have to talk to your friends. Yeah, it happens all the time. Simply Simone said, all this drama went down when I was at the Halsey show last night. Lord, yup. Girl, it went down. Let me get some more current comments. Oh, we have a difference of opinion. Miss Brown Sugar said, y'all, I don't think she was trying to protect racists. To me, it sounded like Crystal was calling her out. But why doesn't Crystal just say what it is? But to be like, oh, let's move on in our friendship. Who does that? Maybe it's Crystal. Yikes. Love Like You Are said, I know Rinna wanted to go back to watching Atlanta on Nigeria, but didn't want that smoke. Excuse me. Yep. So she put Dubai, thinking the new girls wouldn't come for her. But baby, Ayan and Lisa tore her up. Brooks too. Yep. Hey, Anthony Berry. Anthony said, the way that Diana hits me and my ancestors. Yep. Garcelle hits some of the ladies and theirs, and it shows. Yeah. The only person who has wisened up, and I'm telling you, is making great choices is Kyle. Because Kyle is like, listen, she does want them off of her show, but Kyle is also protecting herself on the other side. Kyle is making sure that if Bravo start cutting the broads that ain't working up properly, it won't be me. It won't be me because she's doing her due diligence, right? But I know she's also in their little personal sister group chats, dragging the hell out of Garcelle and Sutton. But you would never know about how she played with her. She's smart. Kyle gonna make sure she keep her check. She said, I don't care about them other broads. I'm gonna make sure I keep my check. Miss Brown Sugar said, but Diana is definitely trying to use Crystal for cover. That seems like that's been Crystal's role her whole life. Crystal, I got to be honest with you. You are giving me, my Asian friend said it's okay, right? You know how, oh, my Black friend says I can use the N-word. You're giving the Asian version of that, friend. That's what you are giving. You got to do better. See, this is why I don't talk about her, because I'm just so disappointed. So disappointed. But again, I cannot expect her to be, Dr. Tiffany Moon. We got to get her back. She was such good casting. Such good casting. V said she thought that she was slick saying Dubai instead of Atlanta. It's the same thing. She thought, but we all caught it. Jazzy said, let them expose themselves. Garcelle has yet to say a word. They just keep doing what they're doing to expose themselves, right? And just like, how can you not call it racist? All this woman said was, she needs to be educated. You just both of them went in full attack mode. Like, what happened? What? Not you calling the cops over a lawn dispute. This was easy breezy. I'm telling you guys, I went on Peacock and found that episode because I was like, I need to know what Garcelle said to set this woman off. She needs to be educated. That's it. Okay. Your boss asked her that question. And you and her are not friends. So why would she defend you against racism? She not Crystal. Weird. Hey, the bombshell blurb. The bombshell blurb said, yep, the way Lisa Wu would have dug into that behind, she knew better than to say Atlanta. Absolutely. What?
Yeah, I would like to.
I knew it. I knew you wanted to say something. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Lord. Get your chair. I'm sorry. We have a guest star.
For a minute, because I have to take something else.
Oh, my gosh. JB says, I hope Brooks has the same energy for Caroline. I hope so too. Guys, she literally came down here and stood right there. I'm like, what's going on? I have something to say. What do you have to say, Mama?
Well, I just really don't want to. I really wish I could have came in at the end, but I don't want to really jump into this because this is something I can't fight right now. But I made a statement yesterday, and I called someone fat, and
oh my gosh, Mom!
I am so. I just want to apologize because, someone made a comment about, I know Mama.Star ain't saying that well
this is the thing.
or whatever.
You have to tell me what you're going to. You can't do that.
Yeah,
I can't. No, but this is my platform, so you can't do that.
You're right. But I just wanted to apologize because I will never offend anybody. I come on here, Nikki.Star lets me come on, and I come on here in love. I don't come on here to make fun of anybody. I was someone that people made fun of. You know what I mean? When I was coming up, and that's in my book. I'm not going to give myself a shameless little plug.
But, not after an apology. You can't.
But I apologize immensely. I used the word fat, and it offends some people, and I never want to offend anybody. So from the bottom of my heart to the top of your heart, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Mama.Star is about love, peace, joy, happiness, and I will never try to call anybody any names or look down on anybody because of your sexual preference, the way you look, or whatever. I will embrace you. I am the first to embrace you. So to the people that may have gotten offended, please accept my humble apology. I love you, and thank you very much, daughter, for allowing me to come on. That bothered me. I just didn't. I just wasn't able to. I was not able to sleep because I felt very, very bad about that because I'm not. That's far from Mama.Star. We were talking about RZA. And I made fun or Reza, whatever.
RZA is Wu-Tang.
RZA. And I said the word fat.
Mom, okay. Thank you.
And I'm working off pounds myself. You know what I mean? So, honey, that wasn't derogatory because look at my
Okay, thank you.
Mama_Star, and I'm working out on my TikTok.
I thought you had something to say about the show. Okay. Thank you.
I do have something to say.
Oh my gosh, say it, girl.
Well, I think that we're getting into a nasty cat fight with this racism stuff. You know what I mean?
It's not racism stuff, it's actual racism. So
what racism?
Don't downplay.
You know what I mean?
Don't downplay.
I just feel like, now we're taking it to another thing, to another level. It's levels to this thing here. And it's going somewhere else. And it's making it bad for cast members. Because now, the public, the viewing audience is going to have something to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? About all of the shade that's being thrown. And you're throwing it on national television. People watch this show. All of these housewife shows. Keep on watching because I'm going to be on. But they watch these shows and it's just getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous. And Gazelle.
Is that all you have to say, my love?
She is sitting here counting coins. Who? Sitting back.
Garcelle?
Garcelle. She's just sitting back counting coins. She said, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Keep the check running. Ching, ching. Ching, ching. I love you all. I got to tape something else. Love you. I got to tape something for my aunt.
These lives, I'm telling you.
They get more ghetto.
Child, you don't know what is going to happen. I just searched, while my mom was talking, I just searched the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills hashtag. Literally every comment is dragging Lisa Rinna. She messed up. She messed up. My God, today. Hey, Sam. Sam said Rinna's about to go back to being Pimp by Diana again. She about to lose her bag. She about to lose her job. She needs to have somebody else run her Instagram. Her and Diana. New Mommy D said Crystal absolutely protects racists, and what she's doing is what she's being honest about, what she alluded to about Sutton. That's the thing. Like, why would you protect that? That's very, very weird to me. Hey, Elon, thank you so much for the super chat. Elon said, love the show. Nikki, wasn't sure if you caught the news yesterday about Diana's post. Sorry, ran out of the office really quick. LOL. I had to spill the tea. I got it. Everybody was sending it to me. So thank you so much, Elon. Hey, April. April said Kyle is sucking up to Diana for that bag. She thinks that she is going to get something, which is so sad. I'm like, oh, God. Yeah, they make Rich seem so miserable. DGF627, new subscriber. Hey, fam, said, reminds me of the time Countess Luann got all out of sorts because Ebony informed them that she had more education. Yeah, she didn't like that. She didn't like that. Guys, we were not able to talk about it, but real quick. Do you know the reason why the Real Housewives of New York was put on pause? Because I listened to Ebony's, Carlos King had an episode with Ebony on there. And the only reason why the show got put on pause is because of them. Because everybody except for Sonia did not want to film with Ebony. So Bravo was just like, okay, if you don't want to film with Ebony, because Bravo doesn't know, they can't like cut the black cast member, right? And then bring all the white ladies back who had an issue with her. It's not going to work, right? Even if Ebony underperformed. I like her outside of the show. I always said, and you guys knew going into this, I was like, I don't think Ebony's a good fit for this show. I think she's a perfect fit for The View, but I don't think that she is a good fit for this show. But they all refused, except for Sonia, to film with her. So Bravo was just like, okay, y'all can band together. Even Leah. Y'all can band together and refuse to film with her. We taking everybody check away. And they put them broads on pause. Remember, I was so shocked. I was like, why the Real Housewives of New York and not Orange County? Why are y'all putting that show on pause? It does not make sense to me. This makes sense. The cast refused to film with her except for Sonia. So they all banded together, tried to put Bravo into a space where they felt like they would force Bravo, because they banded together as a cast, they could force Bravo to make a decision in their favor, and Bravo fired all of them. I was like, y'all cut your own check because y'all didn't want the black girl on the show anymore? Foolish. And Leah, you needed that check. Child, foolish. Foolish. Now you and that baby still gonna be in New York Section 8 because you didn't want to film with the black girl. That's what you get. That's what you get. Oh, thank you, Miss Gigi. Listen, we had a meeting after our last review, and I was just letting her know. I was just like, listen, I know you're from a different time. You use different words and like certain stuff. She's older. She can't keep up with the things that are not okay anymore. Like some stuff she knows, but a lot of times her daughters are informing her that, oh, this is different. You can't say this. You can't, we gotta, that's just how it is. We're at the point now where we're raising our parents. So that's just what it is. And she felt really, really bad. And she was like, I want to come on and say something. I was like, absolutely not. I talked to you about it. I know the Star family knows who you are. They're not mean people, but I just want you to be better about your language, especially when you're on my platform. And I didn't know that she was still feeling bad about that. I thought that she was going to say something about the Diana situation, because she sent me the tea. She was one of the people who sent me the tea. So yeah, she felt really bad about it. We're just, listen, we all want to do better here, right? That's what this channel is about. We have a good time, but there's also growth, right? There's redemption, right? There's apologies, there's love, there's all of that. If I'm bringing somebody onto my platform, I want to make sure that my subscribers, my Star family, leaves this whatever I do feeling good. I don't want anybody to feel offended or hurt or anything like that, unless you're a racist. Choke. But you know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure everybody has a good time, because that's why I started this channel, and that will always be the core of this channel. All of us having fun, leaving this feeling, like you can get through the rest of your work day and just having some joy. So she wanted to do that. I didn't know that she was going to do that, but that's Mama Star. That is Mama Star. Thank you, guys. I knew that you guys would understand, but she wanted to do that. Sippy Simone said Diana and Rinna don't know about the African. about the African population in Atlanta or all over. Baby, we only a fight away. She tried it. She tried it. Who did I call on? Oh, child, the comments. I'm guys, I'm trying to get everybody, but we are, and it's nothing wrong with that. We're having a good time. We're having a good conversation. If I miss you, please forgive me. I'm trying to get like all these comments in, but the comments as you talk, they keep on adjusting and they just jump up. So I'm trying to get as many as I can. All right, now we're back. Now we're back. Oh, there we go. Yes, new Mommy D. All of them except for Sonia. Listen to the podcast. I couldn't believe it. I thought Luann would have been on board, but I guess they all banded together. Like, this is the thing. The cast of Friends banded together and had made demands for the network, and they were the first TV show actors to ever get $1 million an episode. And I'm telling you, ever since that cast did that, every cast just gleans from them. It's just like, if we band together, we can get the network to do that. That's not always the case, especially when the networks think that you are replaceable, right? And unfortunately, the Housewives ladies are great, but they're getting older, right? They're getting older. They're now aware of their celebrity and the space that they have with their fans, right? So you start acting a little different. You start going full Nene. And the network, in my opinion, is letting these ladies know who's boss, right? Nene never thought that she would get fired. We never thought that Nene would get fired. We never thought that they would put the Real Housewives of New York on pause. But I think this is the network fighting back to their employees and saying, we are the ones that make the decisions. We hired you. You didn't hire us. This is not a relationship, right? This is employer and employee. So I think that's why they made that decisions, because now those ladies are shook. Now those ladies don't have this Bravo check. And I know at least a few of them was getting close to $1 million, probably $1 million an episode or a season. So it's like, it's rough out there. It's rough out there because I know that nobody was making what Nene was making. Why would you get rid of? Child, I would never blow a $3 million bag. Where all I got to do is show up and be myself. Child. So I think that's what happened, but it's very unfortunate. Miss T said, I'm shocked. Brave, Bravo. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but Sonia was the only one. I listened to that podcast. She was just like, yeah, she was. And Carlos was like, not even Leah. She was like, not even Leah. They all were like, we don't want the Black girl on the show. And they all banded together and went to the network. And the network was just like, well, we'll just cancel the show. They listened. Bravo pulled their cards. They said, okay, you want to do that? Fine. We'll just replace you. They've been wanting us to get younger and more diverse housewives anyway. And Ebony is still in the running, right? Because they said that they're putting everybody in the legacy, but Ebony is still in the running. So we'll see. I don't necessarily think that they'll build the show around her, but they may keep her. Thank you so much, Shonda, for putting my mama's book in the chat. Thank you so much, sis. El Michelle said, I heard the same, and that's why they have the new RHONY and Legacy RHONY. Yeah, but Legacy ain't that, main RHONY check. And they did that to themselves. They did that to themselves. Because, guys, remember, I was so shocked. I was like, why are you putting RHONY on pause and not Orange County? I could not believe it. But then listen to that podcast. I was like, oh, that makes all the sense in the world. All the sense in the world. Y'all let y'all check go for that? Hey, April. April said, Kyle is always googly-eyed at Diana's rings and bags like a dog with a bone. They always do that. I don't know why they try to sell how rich these women are. And then after they do one season, all of a sudden they're too broke for you and you got issues with them. They did the same thing to Sutton. That Sutton is so rich. Rinna was drooling over Sutton, how rich Sutton is. And now look where she's at with Sutton. I'm like, Rinna, you were the one who told us that Sutton was so rich. So it wasn't shocking that she bought a table at Elton John's party and at Elton John's charity event and invited you. And that you didn't pay and that you couldn't afford to go without her because you're talking about how wealthy this woman is. Weird. Very, very weird. Miss Brown Sugar said, I thought that was a beautiful apology, Mama Star. If more people would take a beat, listen and learn, Rinna wouldn't be getting dragged right now. Guys, that hashtag is all about Rinna. And that's the thing. Like, you want to be trending. You want the hashtag to be about you, but not like this. Not like this. Thank you so much, Tracy. Tracy said, we love Mama Star. We know it's not in a mean spirit. I want a signed book. Oh, today, when I get off of here, we're going to the post office. So I was going to tag you. I was going to respond to you on Instagram, but just to let you know, I'm on my way to the post office with your book. Thank you so much, Tracy, for the super chat. And it's signed. You got a signed copy. Drewski said, the gag is that for as much as Rinna clearly needs this check, she's pulling rake way, way, way too much. Yeah, she thinks she's untouchable. You better check with the Real Housewives of New York. That cast thought they was untouchable too. Garcelle would be fine without Bravo, but Rinna, oh girl, sad for you, ciao. Let me get 2 more comments because I just looked at the time and I gotta go to the post office. JL said, networks want to set precedents, showing you who wears the pants. Absolutely. Momi said, I wonder if Leah didn't get on Ebony's side because she was also called out for being racially insensitive over those texts that she sent to Michael Che, who was on SNL. I don't think so. I think Leah banded with the side that she thought was going to win, right? I think Leah felt like if she banded, and I'm just thinking, if she banded with Ebony, she would be off the show with Ebony. I think she thought that those ladies had more power than they actually did. And she decided to band with them. And she was on the wrong team. Because you're no longer in play. But Ebony, out of all of them, is still in play. Wasn't smart. April said Bravo was going to get slammed from all this foulery. It's always a race issue on Bravo. Enough is enough. It wasn't a race issue when they kept the show segregated. We have to be honest with you, right? And then after 2020, after COVID, after that huge Black Lives Matter movement that happened after the death of George Floyd, all these corporations jumped in talking about diversity, and I'm just like, you just can't throw people together and think that there won't be racism. Like, you're saying, oh, our whole office is white. Let's throw in some colored folk. Like, that's not going to be a hostile environment for them. Like, you got to do better. They didn't do the work. They just wanted to look like they were doing the work, and this is the result. Tiny said, except a legacy needs someone to introduce the young ones, like Vampire Diaries creating a legacy. They need a legacy. Yeah, I don't know who that would be. I would love it, to be honest with you. They can keep Ebony. I think Ebony needs a redemption season. Everybody gets one. I think she needs a redemption season. Y'all gave Leah a redemption season. Give Ebony a redemption season. I would love it if they based that show around Tinsley. Let her be the legacy. Let her be the new face of New York. I would love it. Hey, Betty Jean. Betty Jean said, thinking about the problem with Phaedra and Candy is probably mostly about betrayal and the history of her brother's death. Who? Whose brother? Candy had a brother? Let me know. Drewski said, does Sutton get $300K a month in alimony? They were definitely all drooling. Yeah, she gets that. How rich was that man? Hey, DGF627. Kyle had a closet full of bags of whatnot stolen. Her sister is Kathy Hilton, for Pete's sakes. Kyle's not impressed. She's fawning for Mauricio's and her daughter's business. I wonder if she's going to be on that show. I wonder. Tiny said, but also, isn't Real Housewives of Ultimate's girl trip them showing all their faves who don't sue them will always have a spot somewhere on Bravo? Yeah, that's basically what the show is. That's basically what the show is. real quick before I get out of here, the Kim situation is very weird, right? Because the certain people in the cast went from calling her racist and problematic to then wanting her to be on the show. And it's like y'all gotta stand in it. You gotta stand in it. Is she problematic or racist, or is she good for the show? Like, which one matters to you most? That was the thing. It got real foggy because they would say they didn't want her because she was always been racist and problematic, but then y'all would say y'all wanted her back on the show. They couldn't find a clear vision with Kim, so it never really worked. Tracy said, "I only want to cast of mixed races if they're actual friends." Yeah, and to be honest with you, a lot of communities are segregated, especially the wealthier communities, because they can afford to live amongst each other. A lot of us, who are poor and working class are forced to live in areas where we can afford. And and a lot of times there's a mixture of races, but poverty is the binder. You know what I mean? Like, we can't find land in other places and just decide to settle and live there because we don't have the capital. So, I don't know if they're going to be able to find that in, wealthier communities. Oh, I didn't know about that, Betty. Thank you for the information. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I did not know that. I don't want to end on that. So I'm going to try to find another comment. Let me rest here until somebody else comments, because I don't want to end on that. I want to talk about, you know what? Let's talk about this, DGF. DGF said Candy holds grudges against the housewives that don't hawk her wares on the show. If you're selling, you're her best friend. Phaedra was all over bedroom Candy, and 50 Cent was filming at Tags. Was that her studio? Yeah. Maybe that's why she's so upset about the vibrating panties. We'll end on that. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy said, shout out to the Nikki.Star replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social medias. Thank you all for joining me, family. If you are a part of the replay gang, give me a few minutes. I have to let the video render, and then I'll jump in and I'll put the timestamps in. They'll be pinned in the first comment, and they'll also be in the description box. Had a really good time. This is a busy weekend for me, so I don't know if I'll be able to film anything this weekend. But if there's new episodes of Atlanta and 90 Day Fiance, I'll see you all on Monday. Love you so much, Star Fam. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you soon. Love y'all. Bye. Be nice. Listen, there's a lot of unnice and unwell people in this world. Let's not be one of them. Be nice, lead with love, also make sure you're being respected, but it's so much easier to be kind. It's so much easier to brighten somebody's day. You know what I mean? Like, let's put that out there, because there are so many people who are choosing darkness, and it's so unfortunate. Lisa Rinna has a great situation, a very lucrative job, and just that whatever anger is residing in that woman, whatever about her life is falling apart. Because I will say this, Lisa Rinna was not like this in the beginning. We all loved her for a reason, and she just becomes so dark and so vile. And I think there's something happening there that maybe we will or will not see on the show. But be the opposite of Rinna, be the opposite of Diana. Choose love, choose light, choose joy, and have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, eat lots of food, celebrate if you want to. Don't celebrate if you don't want to, but I know what I will be doing, watching Stranger Things. Love y'all. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.